I want you to understand this is an extreme amount of drama, but I strongly believe that you have to do what's right for you.
This is the pyramid I gave so much power to over the years, and it's also where I found myself at the bottom. The world has watched my life unfold on their screens, but there's so much more that was left on the cutting room floor. It's finally time I share what really happened, what you didn't see on TV, and how I lost control of the narrative shared to millions. It's now my turn to tell the story.
Yeah.
I am for the whole team, not just for Maddie. They call me and they want Maddie. They don't want Nia.
Thus far, this LA trip has been challenging, and Abby has not been a good manager for Nia.
Repeatedly been told you belong at the bottom. How do you find your way to the top?
Hey guys, it's Jordan Sparks. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're actually going to be taking a look at an excerpt from Nia Su's new book. Nia Su being the Dance Moms dancer that was there for 7 seasons, the full ride. Well, she has a new book that is coming out on November 4th. I will leave a link to it in the description box if you're looking to pre-purchase it or you'd like a hard copy. I can leave you an Amazon link for it. But her book is called Bottom of the Pyramid, a memoir of persevering, dancing for myself, and starring in my own life. Now, I've personally watched a bunch of the press tour for this from Nia. I've watched a bunch of podcasts that were like an hour and a half long, listening to her tell her story and why it's time for her to write this book. But I came across an excerpt from this book that somebody had posted on the Reddit page, and I just would like to read out this excerpt because I find it's very telling and it kind of illustrates a lot of what was going on behind the scenes on Dance Moms. But also, if this doesn't make you hate Abby Lee Miller, I do not know what will. So without further ado, why don't we just get into this?
As a child, there was nothing I loved more than dance. I started dancing at the age of 2, and then when I was 9 years old, I had the opportunity of a lifetime to join the original cast of Dance Moms. Each week, we were assigned new choreography, performed at dance competitions, and managed the pressure of giving 110%, despite having a teacher who tore us down more times than she ever built us up.
So this is from the chapter New Passion, where Nia's talking about her music career. So it reads, I was so excited. At the beginning of each season, the moms met with the producers to talk about anything that we wanted to have them follow or highlight, and my mom mentioned Aubrey seeking me out and wanting to help me pursue music. This is Aubrey O'Day that she's referring to.
So I decided I'm going to reach out to some people that Abby introduced me to that could hopefully help out Nia. Aubrey expressed interest in Nia. Aubrey is a singer-songwriter. She was part of a girl group called Danny Kane, and she was also part of making the band with P. Diddy.
So it says, the producers loved this and wanted to showcase the story. Cameras would follow me around and capture my music journey. I was nervous but thrilled about this new opportunity outside of the show. I couldn't wait to get started. Now, as we know, Nia wanted to pursue music her entire life. That's probably why she was staying on this team for so many seasons. One of the big reasons is to get her music started. So this is finally that moment where Nia was getting her break, where she could get started in music. We probably all remember this from watching the show.
I decided to call her last week to see if she was interested in working with Nia.
Who sings the best?
Nia.
Why are you giving her a single?
This is Holly. How are you, Nia's mom?
How are you?
I've been meaning to give you a call to see if you might be interested in working with Nia.
My heart rate is already racing. I can barely breathe. It just stresses me out. So it says, fast forward to one day after Pyramid. Abby was in a raging mood because my mom had called her out. Okay, typical. After the moms left the studio to sit in the waiting area, we dancers came in to stretch and get ready to start learning our piece for the week as we normally did. Since we were in LA, the moms were stationed in the waiting area of the building with a TV, allowing them to see but not hear what was happening. So this is new to me. I knew that there was a TV in the room, we saw that, but I didn't know that there was no volume until now, so that is interesting.
I'm gonna take matters into my own hands.
I can't believe I'm here with Aubrey O'Day.
We were just talking about it.
What's been burning?
I know Miss Abby doesn't really approve of me doing this, but this is the reason why we came out to LA.
Abby was sitting in her chair going on about one thing or another. Then all of a sudden she took out her cell phone and made a call. She put the phone on speaker while I continued stretching with the other girls, not paying much attention to her. Once the call connected and I heard the voice on the other end of the line, however, I froze. It was Aubrey.
My assumption was that this was something they were asking me to do, for you as your friend.
Abby told her that she'd heard we were working together. As she said this, she looked right at me. She went on to tell Aubrey that my mom wasn't supposed to contact her behind Abby's back, that she was my manager, and that she was hurt by my mother using one of her contacts to make an underhanded deal. She then offered Aubrey $10,000 not to work with me. That is so fucking asinine. I'm blown away by that. But also, we remember this scene on the show. I remember Abby making this phone call and saying, the mother went behind my back. But they cut this all out. We didn't see her make a $10,000 to Aubrey, or a $10,000 to Aubrey not to work with Nia anymore.
So y'all want to get started?
Yeah, let's do this.
Woo!
Aubrey has been incredibly supportive of Nia. She put us in touch with her people. We're gonna create this song with or without Abby.
If life is a dance, you better own it. Never have no fear, don't ever show it.
Throw your little, attitude on it.
So, Aubrey, I just had a situation with one of the moms. It was ugly. I wish I had it on videotape so I could send it to you. Holly, the woman that called you, behind my back. They lie and they go to my friends and they use them. Holly's been at the studio for enough years to know what happens to people who go behind my back.
So it says, I was a pretty tough kid to break, but Abby's cruel bribe made me crumble. I was crushed. Literally the one good thing I'd had going for me was just ruined. I remember that awful gut-wrenching feeling of my heart sinking to my stomach. It was like someone had ripped out my insides and thrown them on the ground. Now, if you notice, this happened every time Nia was given an opportunity. Abby had to shut that down. In Abby's reality, there is no reality in which Nia is a successful person and gets better opportunities than what Abby has envisioned for her. Let that soak in. That is why it is so triggering to a narcissist to see you succeed. Because they've already decided that in their reality, success doesn't happen for people like you. Success happens for people like me. So that's why Abby is so fucking triggered by this, that she needs to put a complete stop to it. So it says, a lot of this got edited out of the episode when it aired. The network made it seem like the girls weren't in the room and that the moms were, and they also cut out the part where Abby bribed Aubrey. They didn't even show me running out of the room crying and looking for my mom. Rather than show the incident in its entirety, the episode seemed to protect Abby and any sense of likability she had with the audience. Now, this is something that Nia said in the interview podcast that I was watching yesterday, is that the show actually protected Abby to make her more likable. That was the main thing that they did. The edits were to make sure the show didn't get canceled and that Abby seemed more likable. More likable. So this version that we were seeing on TV is the more likable version. So it goes on to read, usually when a kid cried, the producers were all over it. But since this was so malicious and vindictive, they had to protect their interests. This was the kind of thing that could have gotten the show canceled, or at least in really hot water. Now, that is because, would this not be considered like bribery and blackmail? I feel like it is legitimately illegal for Abby to ask Aubrey to not work with Nia for $10,000, but that, I'm not like a lawyer, I don't know. One of the hardest things to accept was that no one else seemed to care. None of my teammates nor their mothers were even bothered to check in on me after this. Well, Nia, if you're seeing this now, I hope that you know that all of the fan base has your back. And we've always had your back throughout the entire run of the show. Even when they didn't show everything on the show, we were rooting for you. Even if you couldn't feel that from inside your suffocating, isolated existence. They'd all witnessed the worst day of my life firsthand, and no one did anything about it. Sometimes other moms would comfort the girls or speak words of encouragement to make them feel better when they were troubled. I got none of that. Instead, some of the other moms told us we'd brought the situation on ourselves and that we should have taken Abby up on her offer to manage me. Jill. Only Jill would say that. But also, can we talk about when Christy was on the show, Christy did comfort Nia. So I guess once Christy was gone off the show, but if there was anybody that would actually come around and comfort the kids, you can count on Christy. She was comforting Nia, she was comforting Kenzie, she would even comfort Maddie. So when people are saying that Christy was just absolutely awful, not her whole thing was just making sure Chloe won and she hated all of the other kids, she did make Maddie cry. She's spoken about it multiple times. She's very sorry for it. But also, we saw firsthand her actually going out of her way to comfort children even when their parents weren't. So, shout out to Christy for that. Then it says, that's when it sank in that I was alone in this dance mom's world. No one was coming to save me. Well, no one except my mom. It was now us against the world. creating the mini Holly. Congratulations to Holly, because honestly, Nia is a stand-up human being. But I think that it is so important to take a look back on this, and this is probably why Nia was so excited when Chloe came back to finish off this season. Like, Abby just got worse and worse and worse, and especially after they moved to LA, and then her ego was so fucking high that she felt like she controlled everybody and that everybody was just a pawn in her game of life. Then it all came crashing down for her. I feel like Abby Lee Miller is like the most illustrative case of poetic justice that can ever happen in this world. Like, you were so diabolical to so many people, and you got your just desserts in so many ways. And now, still to this day, people are still holding you accountable for things that you did 15 years ago that you figured, well, I'm just gonna get away with everything scot-free because I'm a narcissist. I'm a grandiose narcissist, and I can do whatever I want, and there's gonna be no repercussions. Repercussions are only gonna be for people that are weaker than me, people that I have control over. Literally, this woman. Ugh. But if this didn't make you just for Abby Lee Miller even more than you already were before this, I don't know what to tell you, but I can't wait to read this book. I think that this is going to be a worthwhile read, and I think that we honestly owe it to Nia to read this book. If you sat there and you digested and consumed all 7 seasons that she was on television for basically free, or whatever the cost of your cable is, or watching it for free on YouTube, I think that we owe it to this girl to read this book. But that is my thoughts. That is this video. I just wanted to share this excerpt from the book. Again, you can find the book linked in my description box if you're looking to pre-order it. And that is it from me. Thank you to the patrons for supporting my channel. The Patreon will be linked in the top comment, the pinned comment as well. If you want to check out another one of my videos over here, you can also do that. And as always, make sure to be weird, be wild, and stay sparkly, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
It's never the kid's fault, but the kid always has to pay the consequences for the parents' mistakes.